Just over a month ago, Hamas terrorists committed the deadliest massacre of the Jewish people since the Holocaust and the worst foreign terror attack on Americans since 9/11. The level of barbarism that we witnessed was nothing short of evil. Compounding these atrocities is a reaction in some parts of the world and in our own land, like sickening anti-Semitic protest on university campuses. These vile demonstrations celebrated, justified, and endorsed this violence. Unfortunately, we even saw this in my state on the campus of UNC Chapel Hill. Less than 1 week after the attack, a pro-Palestinian group used a photo of paragliders to advertise a protest. To be clear, Hamas terrorists used paragliders to attack innocent young people at a music festival and then hunted them down and murdered them on the side of the road. That was endorsed on a college campus. At the rally, a pro-Palestinian speaker called the Hamas terrorists freedom fighters. He went on to say that the whole slaughter of over 1,400 men, women, and children and babies must be, quote, understood in a broader context. The entire display that occurred was disgusting and it should be roundly condemned. Even worse, we've seen threats of violence at Ivy League universities like Cornell, where a student threatened to kill Jewish students at a kosher dining hall on campus. Simply put, there could be no place in our country for that sort of anti-Semitic bigotry. According to the Anti-Defamation League, since the Hamas attacks this month, anti-Semitic incidents in the U.S. have increased by 388%, and that's deeply troubling. Dr. Sarna, again, thank you and all your friends here and your colleagues for coming. Does that statistic track with what you've seen reported? If you turn your microphone on, yeah, thank you.
Yes, the statistic does track with what we're hearing and what students who talk to fellow students at campuses hear as well. And it's precisely the rapid rise that everyone is seeing. Hillel statistics are not identical with the ADL statistics, but both have seen what may well be an unprecedentedly rapid rise in anti-Semitic activities, violence, incidents on college campuses.
Thank you very much. Since the attacks on October 7th, the OCR, the Office of Civil Rights at the Department of Education, has yet to notify the members of this committee of what they're doing to protect Jewish students on college campuses. Mr. Marcus, based on your prior experience leading the department's Civil Rights Division, do you think or do you believe that the current office has done its job in protecting the rights and safety of Jewish students across the country in the wake of the vile anti-Semitism we have seen on campuses over the last month?
Thank you, Senator Budd. So let me try to give you the most candid but also balanced perspective that I can. This administration has done some good things towards protecting Jewish students. The first national strategy on anti-Semitism came out this year. That was a helpful use of what I would call political rhetoric. The Department of Education, pursuant to that strategy, has had some listening tours and raised some awareness in some circles about this issue. Senior members of the department, including not just the Assistant Secretary, Catherine Lehman, but also Deputy Secretary Martin and Secretary Cordona, have engaged in a way that I think is useful and helpful. And I think much of what Catherine Lehman is saying and doing is commendable. I was pleased to see a favorable resolution of the University of Vermont case, which the Brandeis Center had brought, a very important case, and a good resolution. However, that's the only resolution that we've seen of the many campus cases that are pending before, and the average age of these cases continues to go up. Nor have we seen significant policy guidance of any sort coming from the agency, despite continuing promises that they will do so. So I would say that there have been some good words, but there have not been the actions that I would like to see.
What are they missing, and how would you suggest they do it differently?
A few things. Some of you have written, I think, a good letter. So let me give you just a few. Number one, tomorrow they could begin self-directed investigations on those campuses where they have significant information about violations. They are aware, if they're reading any newspapers at all, that there are problems at some campuses, including violations of statutes that they're sworn to uphold. Number two, they could bring significantly more attention to this issue by bundling a bunch into a national compliance review. They've got 15, 17, 19,000 complaints. They could do 15, 19 individual cases. That would not be a blip, but it would raise a lot of attention and concern. Three, they have announced through OIRA's Unified Agenda and Regulatory Plan of the United States that they would issue a regulation, I'm asked to wrap it up, issue a regulation that codifies Executive Order 13899 on combating anti-Semitism. I would like to see them do that.
Thank you. So I'll close with this. We must not only stand shoulder to shoulder with Israel as they destroy Hamas terrorists, we must raise our voices to unequivocally condemn anti-Semitic hatred in all of its forms. Thank you all for being here.
Senator Budd, great questions. Thank you, sir.